The passenger's pulse rose by 22% when she looked at the other passenger, the taxi announced.
Alma, leave him behind to arrive. Nico, keep her inside to arrive. Alma still had one hand on the door. The last train left in 18 minutes. Her identity folder was still in a locker, and this was the only available taxi. She could throw out the stranger and keep her conventional reservation, or share the predictive vehicle. Nico had credentials for the same train.
We'll share, Alma decided. She canceled her reservation. The doors closed. The taxi gave its soft, almost courteous chime. Next decision, official route or side access? Alma will arrive by the official route. Nico will arrive by the side access. Official route, she ordered. The app confirms it's the shortest. When they reorganize traffic, the buses block the main entrance, Nico objected. I know a side corridor. The taxi moved between the terminals. For half a minute, Alma's calculation looked flawless. Then 3 detour alerts sounded. The vehicle braked gently. Rail access closed due to traffic reorganization, it reported. The official route can no longer reach the train. There is not enough time to turn back. The prediction favoring Alma vanished from the dashboard with a tiny chord, as if the taxi enjoyed taking away her chance to be right. The bus terminal's service corridor, Nico said. It's the only alternative that can still get us there in time. It comes out beside the lockers, then continues to the rail access. Alma's route had ceased to exist. Her goal was still to retrieve the folder and get both of them onto the last train. The only viable plan belonged to the man whose prediction had told him not to let her go. You guide us, Alma said. But if we end up in a bus parking lot, I'm calling that verifiable data. Fair enough. Nico gave short directions. He did not pretend to be certain when he wasn't, and he corrected one exit before the taxi could take it. Alma discovered that his improvisation was not guesswork. It meant noticing things the maps took longer to learn. The sound of engines beyond a wall, announcements from the platforms, and the rhythm of the opening barriers. Right after the ramp, he said. The service entrance is there. The taxi turned and stopped. A different automated voice declared, Unscheduled vehicle, access denied. The barrier used to open whenever a bus came out, Nico said. An engine roared on the other side. The barrier rose, but the taxi did not move. I will not pass through a checkpoint without registered authorization, the vehicle explained. The barrier lowered again. Well, Alma said, now we have your verifiable data. I was hoping you'd enjoy this moment less. I'll enjoy it later. Right now, tell me exactly where that corridor leads. Nico described one continuous passage, the service entrance, the locker area, then an exit beside the station. His knowledge was correct, but it could not make the taxi move. Improvisation had found the route. The barrier demanded a different kind of talent. Alma tapped the link to terminal control. I'm requesting transit authorization for an autonomous vehicle to the rail access with one intermediate stop. Temporary authorizations don't include stops, a tired operator replied. You can request transit or parking. I don't need parking. I need the transit to include an operational interruption at the lockers. That's a stop. Only if it changes the permit's destination. It doesn't. Nico leaned toward her. Are you flirting with a clause? Alma covered the microphone. And it's working better than flirting with you. The operator offered 2 separate permits. Alma rejected them. The second would not activate until the first one ended, leaving the taxi trapped beside the lockers. She requested a single comprehensive authorization, waived the refund for her canceled ride, and accepted a non-refundable fee. In return, she insisted that the permit cover the entrance, the document pickup, and the rail exit without interruptions or ambiguity. There was silence. Then the taxi's dashboard made a firm sound. "Continuous authorization registered," the vehicle said. The barrier opened. "I've never found an administrative fee seductive before," Nico remarked. "Your repertoire needs supervision." "Is that an offer?" "It's a risk assessment." The taxi entered the corridor. The echo of the buses faded behind them, and over the outdoor speakers came the distant announcement for the last train. Alma had opened the route with her permit. Nico knew how to guide them to the end. For the first time, their shared plan seemed better than either of their individual plans. Then came the taxi's soft chime. "Approaching the lockers. You must decide whether to stop. Alma, get out and you will reach the train. Nico will not. Nico, continue without stopping and you will reach the train. Alma will not." The lightness vanished from both their voices. Alma needed the folder. Without it, reaching the train would not save her morning negotiation. For Nico, stopping meant disobeying the only future that guaranteed his presentation. Each option favored one of them and left the other behind. "You could get out," Nico said. "The permit leaves you beside the station. I keep going. You retrieve the folder and try to reach the platform from inside. That obeys both your prediction and mine by splitting us up. It also maximizes the chance that at least one of us makes it. I didn't cancel my safe alternative to maximize halves. You canceled it when you still thought you'd control the ride." The comment struck home. Alma had shared the taxi because she expected to turn uncertainty into a procedure. Now the procedure was offering her a favorable certainty. Get out, save her folder, and accept that Nico would miss the train. "My prediction has spent all night telling me to leave you behind," she said. "If I'd obeyed it, I'd still be stuck on the official route. I'm not going to treat it as a guarantee just because it suits me now. Mine has spent all night telling me to keep you inside. And now it suits you to leave without me." The taxi requested confirmation. The lockers were less than a minute away. Alma formed a new plan. They would make full use of the permit she had negotiated. The taxi would stop. She would get out and retrieve the folder. Nico would cancel the automatic order to continue and keep the vehicle waiting. When she returned, he would guide them along the final stretch to the exit he knew. "That contradicts both predictions," Nico said. "Exactly. At last, we have symmetrical data." "If you take too long, we both miss it." "Yes. And if I continue, I'm guaranteed to make it, according to my screen." "According to your screen." Alma added nothing. She did not ask for a promise or try to turn their attraction into an obligation. The cost was clear to both of them. Nico exhaled. "Stop at the lockers," he ordered. The doors opened with a hiss. A bank of automated lockers beeped at the far end of the corridor. Alma got out. She did not leave 1 foot inside or hand Nico anything as collateral. She ran toward the lockers while the taxi announced behind her, "Continuing now will allow Nico to reach the train." She entered her code. The compartment answered with an error buzz. "Come on!" She entered it again, more slowly. The lock clicked and the door opened. Alma grabbed the folder. As she closed the locker, she heard the train's departure warning in the distance and, closer by, the taxi's voice. "Last opportunity to continue." From there, she could not see whether the vehicle was still waiting. For several seconds, the corridor gave her nothing but the rapid beat of her own footsteps. Then she heard Nico. "I'm canceling the order to continue. Maintain the authorized stop." The taxi replied, "That decision will prevent your arrival, according to your prediction." Noted and rejected. Alma rounded the corner with the folder pressed to her chest. The doors were still open. "You took your time," Nico said. "You waited." "We're both very disappointing to the machine." She climbed in, and the doors closed.
"Final stretch," Nico said. "Keep going until you hear the platform announcement. Then take the narrow exit on the left." "Continuous authorization valid," the taxi confirmed. The vehicle moved forward. Nico recognized the fork from the echo of the announcements and gave the direction. The final barrier read the permit Alma had negotiated and rose without stopping them. Neither skill would have been enough alone. He had found an exit that did not appear on the map. She had made it possible for the taxi to cross it. The train announced that its doors were closing. The taxi stopped beside the entrance. Alma and Nico got out, ran onto the platform, and entered the last car as the departure signal began to sound. The doors closed behind them. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then the train began to move, and they both let out a short laugh, more surprised than triumphant. Through the window, the taxi remained beside the platform. Its dashboard gave the soft chime one last time. "Outcomes unconfirmed," it announced. "Predictions deleted." The two instructions vanished without revealing which one had been correct. Alma settled the folder on her lap. "So we'll never know whether your plan saved us or mine." "That seems unfair. I had a very elegant speech prepared for when mine turned out to be the one." "You can recycle it for your presentation." "Depends. I have an hour before it starts after we arrive. Want to get breakfast?" Alma arched an eyebrow. "An evaluation meeting?" "A date. No algorithms, predictions, or pulse measurements." She let the train gather speed before answering. "I accept on one condition." "I was afraid you'd say that." "I choose the route from the station." Nico smiled. "With verifiable data?" "No. This time I think I'll improvise." Alma's pulse quickened again, but there was no machine left with the right to interpret it.